constraints make creating things a lot easier, which initially sounds really counterintuitive. If you're trying to create an event or a product, it's really important for you to understand what the goal of doing this all is. So Millie and I have been talking about setting up an entrepreneurship meetup here in Melbourne so that we can meet more like-minded people who are building businesses, changing the world, and kind of forging their own path rather than following the standard set route by society. And we have gone to a lot of different events in the past, and a lot of them were awful, to be frank, and a lot of them had a few elements that were really good. And so the easiest way to create something that is actually going to be useful is to start with inversion thinking. So having some experience in whatever you want to do in the first place is going to be really helpful, because you're going to be able to identify things that you don't like much more easily than the things you do. So the key things that we picked up on in these meetups was it was such a pain in the bum if you were caught up with someone the whole time who you kind of wanted to get away from, but it was awkward, right? There are other situations where they just put you into a room and there's no objective and it's just really awkward to turn up and talk to people. At least it is if you're not me. Yeah, I'm a bit of a loud person, happy to do that. What other issues are there? When there's no fixed agenda or matter of discussion or whatever, it can get a bit confusing as to what do we talk about. You can end up talking about things that you don't really want to talk about. There is often difficulty after the fact actually engaging with the people you want to talk to that you met that were really interesting. Definitely don't want a situation where you turn up and just have people sell to you. That's not the thing. So taking just a few of these ideas as is has really helped us in creating something that we actually want to attend. And so we've created something called Forge, Founders and Operators Recreation Growth Experiences. I think that's what it stands for. Where we're just going to do kind of guided events that you would want to attend in their own right, but also have an element of this is only for the people we're trying to target. So our first idea, we were thinking low commitment, free, because that's going to be really helpful for people to turn up, right? For their first one, they don't know what they're getting into, all that sort of stuff. So we were going down, one of the best ones we ever did was just a coffee morning, coffee and a walk, that was it. But it misses a lot of the elements that we have, where you can get easily stuck with one person. It's difficult to add in a clique. If you're stuck in a clique and someone else is in a clique and you're trying to get in, and there's no real objective or deadline or time, it is a bit arbitrary. So working on that idea very quickly with these constraints came up with something like a treasure hunt, right? So we still turn up at a cafe, we grab our coffees, we have 5 minutes to literally get to know everyone. What's your name? How are you changing the world? And then have a list of activities that we're going to do. So we'll give everyone a number when they turn up, 1 to 3, so that you'll split into 3 different teams. And then there'll be a task. We say, right, half an hour, you're going to head into the city, I don't know, go to the library, and you're going to see, or you go to the library, you go to this place, you go to this place, and you're going to see what's the biggest item that you can legally come back with, that is for free and that you haven't had to rent and return and stuff like that. So legally acquiring for free an item, the largest one you can find might win the thing. All right, you've half an hour, we meet back, here, go. So then this has a very fixed deadline, a fun activity to try to do, arbitrary, that's what games are. They are arbitrary rules and objectives that we have to overcome, obstacles that we have to overcome. That's the point of the game. So that conversation will naturally happen based on the objective of the game. And then when you come back, there's a deadline and you switch teams and you get put in a new team and then you do another one and then maybe one more, right? And we've now had the activity and then you might go for food after, where this is a non-committal optional part of the thing of the event where natural interaction will now happen because you've spoken and met with many different people. You've kind of got to know what they do through this natural like process of playing a game together as adults, you'll find out information, right? And then the relationships you want to explore further, you can do over something, again, that's not non-committal, over food, which is once you have known people, it's really easy to talk and be like, oh, hey, like you mentioned this thing, like, tell me more about that. And that's how conversation naturally happens. And, maybe have a WhatsApp group where everyone signs in and is added to it for the morning of, for easy communication, and for everyone to have everyone else's contact details if they want it, and all that sort of stuff. And just this is a demonstration where obviously we're not event organizers, but to me, where this solves so many of the issues that we massively dislike, and it incorporates lots of the things that we did like from other meetups that we've done, having those experiences and constraints and thinking through them in a process like this, if you did the same thing for an offer, for a business, for something like that, I think you would end up with something far better than just, I'm going to do an event, and then you just randomly throw shit at the wall. The objectives will help you solve the problem you're trying to solve, because the event would look different for different outcomes, right? If you're trying to find the best DJ in the world, this would not be probably the best event to do that. You might host a competition or something, or a free concert to get people there and attract DJs and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's completely different. But for the constraints of what we're trying to do, this is going to be a much better idea than just having randomly thrown something at the wall in the dark and just hoping for the best. So yeah, I hope that has been quite insightful for you guys. And it definitely was a fun experience for us, and we'll let you know how it goes. To forge your own activities, ideas, opportunities, offers, using this idea of constraints. A theory of constraints is amazing for business, and it's very powerful for creation like this too. All right, guys, have a great day.